For the first time in World Cup history, Spain will participate in the tournament without a single Real Madrid player in the squad. On May 25th, Spain manager Luis de la Fuente announced his 26-man squad for the tournament in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And football fans immediately noticed something unbelievable. In Spain's previous 16 World Cup appearances, there had always been at least one Real Madrid player representing the national team. But this time, from veteran captain Dani Carvajal to young defender Dean Huijsen, every Real Madrid player was left out. And now, football fans are completely losing their minds over it. Spain has always looked strongest when the core of the national team comes from Barcelona rather than Real Madrid. So honestly, the fact that there are no Real Madrid players in the squad this time could actually make the team even more united. In my opinion, Spain are one of the biggest favorites to win the World Cup. Looking at Real Madrid's squad over the last few years, this is not really a huge surprise. The entire team has been built around French and Brazilian superstars, ever since players like Sergio Ramos, Nacho, and Marco Asensio either left the club or got older. And with Dani Carvajal struggling with injuries and age, Real Madrid simply stopped prioritizing Spanish talent. Florentino Perez fully committed to building a global superstar team. At least Inter Milan have some locals on their main squad. It feels embarrassing for Real Madrid. They are called the Royal Club of Spain. Yet they are barely contributing anything to the national team anymore. The club became obsessed with global superstars and international fame. They focused heavily on signing South American players and foreign talent, while local Spanish players slowly disappeared from the squad. The identity of developing homegrown Spanish talent has almost completely faded away. It would be extremely interesting if Spain ended up winning the World Cup without a single Real Madrid player in the squad. I would love to see that happen. Not a Madrid fan, but this is not really shocking when you look at their squad. The team is incredibly international and lacks homegrown Spanish talent. Realistically, who exactly was expected to make the Spain squad besides Dani Carvajal or Dani Ceballos? If anything, this says more about how Real Madrid use their academy nowadays. Castilla feels less like a pathway to the first team and more like a system to generate money for future transfers. Exactly. There were not many realistic candidates from Real Madrid to begin with. If you look at the club's most used starting 11, there is only one Spanish player in the team. Meanwhile, Barcelona's most used lineup contains 7 Spanish players. That says a lot about the difference between the two clubs when it comes to developing and trusting local talent. Real Madrid simply do not have many Spanish players right now. Who exactly was supposed to make the squad? Dani Carvajal is getting older now, and Dean Huijsen has had a relatively quiet season. Other than them, there are not many obvious choices. I just looked it up, and Real Madrid only had 3 players in Spain's World Cup squad back in 2014. But compared to Barcelona having 7 players in the squad, it is not exactly impressive either. Real Madrid is a mess of a club right now. I'm not Spanish or don't support Spain, but this is absolutely embarrassing as a Real Madrid fan. The biggest club in the world and a grand total of 0 players in the national team. Florentino Perez does not really care about building a Spanish core anymore. He only cares about creating the biggest and most expensive team in the world. Real Madrid focus on signing global superstars because big names sell shirts, tickets, and attention. And now Jose Mourinho is coming in to clean up the mess. Clubs are playgrounds for owners, completely different from national teams. Even in youth development, they are not required to train local players anymore. They recruit talented young players from all over the world and develop them instead. That is why it is not surprising when clubs like Real Madrid, Chelsea, or PSV Eindhoven put out lineups without a single local player. Liverpool, Juventus, and Real Madrid are all in the same situation. And those were some of the reactions from football fans after Spain announced a World Cup squad without a single Real Madrid player in the team. Some people believe this proves how much Spanish football has changed. Others think it is embarrassing for a club as massive as Real Madrid to contribute nothing to the national team. But maybe this also shows how modern football works now. Clubs are becoming more global than ever, while national teams are increasingly built around identity, chemistry, and local development. So now the question is, can Spain actually win the World Cup without any Real Madrid players? Let me know your opinion in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe for more football reactions and content.